We are not at the Target Center. This is not a hockey game. Strap on. It is playoff NFL football here in Sticky Bleachers. I am Cory.
I'm Bob here in frigid Minnesota, here for Seahawks Vikings. And looks like the Seahawks are going to get the ball to start off, and Blair Walsh with the kickoff. It's Vikings with the alternate purple uniforms going on.
Seahawks also wearing an unusual color on their uniform. They have the sea green. What color would you call that green, Bob, on their jerseys?
It looks a little aquamarine, we'll say. I don't know.
I like aquamarine. I like the way that sounds. Russell Wilson starts things off with an incomplete pass.
Yes, should be a very exciting matchup. We'll see how both teams respond to the cold. Neither are really that familiar with playing in these type of temperatures, but Marshawn Lynch with a nice run, beast mode.
He's another one.
Will not go
hard
down.
To bring down in the open field. Again, I would not want the job of a defender whose job it was to try to bring him down once he's got a head of steam going. And he's looking to establish that all night. He's got great blocking here. 2 plays in a row, 2 first downs in a row for Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, it's no secret that Marshawn Lynch is very important to the Seahawks offense, and first game back in a while. And Russell Wilson definitely looks happy to have him back. Wilson takes off, though, with a bootleg and making defenders miss, and he's going down to the 25-yard line.
So, Lynch to the right, Wilson to the left. Seems to be the familiar play calling we've seen from them tonight. Here's Lynch to the right again, and he's going to have another first down. Minnesota is scrambling as Marshawn Lynch dances into the end zone.
And a quick score there by the Seahawks, and definitely put the Vikings defense on their heels. Didn't see that one coming.
No, we did certainly not expect a body blow like that so quickly here, especially on the road, to come into an aggressive Minneapolis and score like that on the first drive of the game. Let's see what Minnesota can come up with. They're going to have good field position as Shane Hauschka has a short kickoff. They're actually going to start in plus field position, Bob.
Yeah, Patterson with a nice return there on the short kickoff, and Bridgewater hands to AP, and he gets a couple yards there on the first drive of the game.
Of course, Minnesota not unfamiliar themselves with beast mode level running backs, although this one is to line. He's going to take it up almost enough for a first down.
Zach Line, their fullback, having a nice year so far. 3rd and 1 there. Hands off to Adrian, and we'll see if they get the first down. Oh, and it looks like they're inches short. 4th down. Let's see if they go for it or they punt. Or field goal, actually. Looks like Blair Walsh, he's had his ups and downs, but can definitely hit from long range.
Looks like it's going to be about a 56-yarder, but it's going to be just wide to the left. Unfortunate they're not able to come up with that one, and they're putting the ball back in the hands of the potent Seattle offense. Wilson to the left, as has been the play calling, and he gets positive yards. 2nd down and 3.
Looks like Seattle's responded with the cold weather, and they're just going to keep the ball on the ground and minimize keeping the ball in the air. So as long as it keeps working for them, there's really no reason to change, right, Cory?
Absolutely, Bob. Lynch to the right, not enough for a first down. I think it's the first time he's touched the ball and not gotten a first down, although Wilson will get it now with his legs to the left, as has been the MO all night. And why change it, as you said, Bob, if Minnesota's not going to stop you? Let's see what they go for this time. Wilson to the left, finally a negative play.
Yes, it looks like the Vikings finally made an adjustment there. Now a 2nd and 17 for the Seahawks, but going right back to that familiar strategy. And Marshawn Lynch with the first down, and then some. Beast mode. Beast mode has returned.
Throwing tacklers all the way to the end zone, and just like that, the Minnesota defense is gassed. You could see them on their knees, panting, trying to catch up with Marshawn Lynch.
It's safe to say that Marshawn Lynch is back and healthy, and that time in Buffalo definitely preparing him for this cold weather game.
Yes, now Minnesota is going to have to answer here to keep this game from becoming an early blowout. Let's see what they can pull. Patterson is going to bring it out of the end zone. He's to the 10, to the 15. Will not quite make the 15 as we end our first quarter.
Very reminiscent of the matchup that these two had in early December. Seahawks blew out the Vikings earlier, and seems to be happening this time as well. Bridgewater to Rudolph there for a first down, and about a 15-yard gain there.
Let's see if that settles in this offense a little bit here. It's still not quite panic time when you've got weapons like Adrian Peterson on the team, although not much happening on that first play of this series, Bob.
Yeah, just barely gets back to the line of scrimmage there, but Peterson with the huge hole and gets out for the first down, and he's off to the races.
Oh, and he's showing the defense what it's like to look at the offensive player from behind. Will he get in? No.
Oh, and just great Great endurance there by the Seattle Seahawks to get there and stop Peterson from getting in, but Peterson finishes the job to put the Vikings on the board. 7-14, and this place goes crazy.
Now, we have seen that exact same sequence here on Sticky Bleachers TV, if you remember. Adrian Peterson with a long run getting brought down at the 1, and the Vikings go ahead and just give it to him on the next play to get his touchdown as he fairly deserves.
Absolutely. Both teams establishing the run game early, and now we have a game. So we'll see what the Vikings can do on defense here to see if they can find an answer for the Seahawks offense.
Well, it's always nice to get to the stadium, Bob, and discover that you have a game. The Seahawks are going to be starting up near midfield. Let's see if Marshawn Lynch is going to go to the right, as has been his weapon all night tonight. No, it's Wilson to the left, and he's got a first down.
Yeah, they got to find an answer for that. I mean, it goes without saying, but it seems to be pretty obvious what they're doing.
They need to send at least one defender to the left and at least one defender to the right. Let's see if that's enough to do it here. Marshawn Lynch to the right, picks up 5 on first down.
And am I mistaken? Have they not thrown a pass at all yet, Seattle?
I believe they've kept it on the ground. We'll have to take a look at our stat sheet when that comes up at halftime. We're 2 minutes away. This game's been going so quickly. The stat managers here at Minnesota are a little bit frozen. They're unable to keep up with these stats. Wilson to the left.
Wilson looked like he was going to throw there for a second, but takes off and runs in for the touchdown to give the Seahawks another 2-possession lead.
So that's one thing the Seahawks have that Minnesota does not, and that is a quarterback that has the moves of what would be a starting running back on many other NFL teams.
Yeah, Russell Wilson getting the job done with his legs, and Seahawks back up 21-7.
Under 2 minutes left to go here in this first half. Let's see if Minnesota can put some points on the board here before halftime to make it a one-possession game. Of course, that would be their goal. Patterson's going to bring it out. Will he make the 20? Not quite. They've got a long field to go, Bob.
Yes, it's definitely important for the Vikings to put something on the board here. They got Bridgewater back to pass. Throws out of bounds. Incomplete pass there to, I believe that was Mike Wallace down there.
That was Mike Wallace. Even if he caught that one, he was well out of bounds. Bridgewater led him a little bit too far off the side. And a sack just like that. They're not going the direction they need to go. We've got 1:04 left to go. Third down and very long, Bob.
Yeah, the Seahawks defense is showing up today. They were beat a little bit there on that last drive by the Vikings, but getting pressure, good coverage downfield, just forcing bad throws there by Teddy Bridgewater.
That one way out from Zach Line. Now, you have to wonder if the Seahawks should have been using some timeouts on that possession. Could have saved a little bit more time for this possession here before halftime. This one's punt deep to Baldwin. It's a beautiful punt. He has to run back to get it.
Yes, Jeff Locke, one of the best punters in the league here, and looks like Baldwin's going to take us into halftime here with his run. Tripped up just before the 50-yard line.
You are, Bob.
Seahawks with a commanding 21-7 lead here going into halftime, but Marshawn Lynch, you got to be looking out for records here. 120 yards to start the first half.
Yes, and look at that. Russell Wilson, 0 for 0 here. Seattle is empty in the receiving area, although Kyle Rudolph, with 1 reception and 16 yards, is our receiving leader for Minnesota. Clearly, the difference in this game is going to be on the ground. Let's see if one of the other teams can establish a little bit of a passing game, Bob.
Well, I think the cold is really affecting both offenses here, and Seahawks definitely having a more effective run game, so it's led to their scores.
Yes, as we go on towards our second half, it is my duty to remind you that all of our games on Tecmo Super Bowl 2016 here at Sticky Bleachers are brought to you by the good people at TecmoBowl.org, programmers of this hack. They don't pay us anything. We just appreciate the hard work they do on this hack and many other hacks of Tecmo Bowl, Tecmo Super Bowl, and RBI Baseball, all over there at TecmoBowl.org. Check them out. Minnesota will start things off at their own 40.
A nice return there by Patterson, and Bridgewater from the shotgun, looking downfield.
Mike Wallace.
And with a long pass. Oh, incomplete. Nice coverage there by Seattle on Mike Wallace. Second down and 10. I think Bridgewater being in the shotgun is kind of crucial. Give him just that little bit of extra time.
Oh, nice catch.
Oh, but Charles Johnson, the hairdo with a catch. And first down, and the Vikings are in business here.
The hairdo inside the 20, they're in the red zone here. I think maybe with the knocking on the door here. Oh. Let's see if they can knock this one in. Mike Wallace.
Oh. And Bridgewater holding on to the ball too long. It looked like he had Johnson wide open in the end zone to the right, and Seattle takes over.
And it's Lynch to the right. Speaking of to the right.
Yep. That's we'll see if this can be a first down here. Just short, so second and
Not
inches.
quite, yes. And Lynch has been, I believe it's been that pitch play that's been their bread and butter on the right side. You've got maybe the pitch to the right, as we see here again, and it looks like he'll have just enough for the first down. We've got the pitch to the right, and you've got maybe the little play-action fake pitch, and Russell Wilson to the left.
Yeah, and the Vikings have no answer for either, so...
Looked like he might have thrown there, faked him out, maybe a pump fake there, and he's got Wilson on his feet, another first down. As you said before, Bob, when he has that little pump fake, it looks like he might throw it. That really makes the defense be honest with him.
Yeah, it freezes the safeties, and they have to make a decision pretty quickly whether they're going to stay in coverage or go for Wilson, so...
Yeah, and Lynch to the right is enough to bring them another 20 yards down the field.
I'm going to have to get to our stat guy, but Everson Griffin there with the sack, but I don't remember the last time that we've had a playoff game without a passing attempt by one team, so we'll see if the Seahawks can maybe put something in the air.
I would guess, Bob, the last professional football game without a forward passing attempt on one side has been before World War II. We'll have to check with our stats and information department. Our Sticky Bleachers stats and info team is working on it. They're on the case right now. Unfortunately, most of the records that we have are not electronic. They're all on paper, so they're digging through the musty files of the pre-unification NFL. And it is good. Stephen Hushka makes it 24-7.
24-7 here, and a booming kickoff to Patterson. And we'll see. I mean, the Vikings, obviously, it goes without saying, they have to put a touchdown on the board. There's no field goals that are going to get them back in this game.
No, they're going to have to start scoring
Ill-advised return.
Yes, definitely shouldn't have brought that one out. And as you said, Bob, Bridgewater and crew are going to have to move this ball quickly. Now, Bridgewater, maybe not the quarterback that you want to try to score quickly, although Adrian Peterson has been underutilized in this game. Maybe he can be the difference.
Well, the advantage definitely goes to the Seahawks because it forces the Vikings' hand to put the ball down the field, and their bread and butter really is the run game. And that really sets up a successful passing game. But Peterson making people miss, going all Bo Jackson over the Seattle defense.
Well, that works just as good as a long pass play, doesn't it?
It does. It does. You absolutely need to have both things working to beat this very, very tough Seattle team.
Ooh, Bobby Wagner fooled on the play action, stuck right with Bridgewater, and as he turned around to look downfield, he had big Bobby Wagner right in his face. Bridgewater now the handoff to Peterson to the right, who's also been a weapon to the right, and he's going to get all those yards back and much, much more of the first down to about the 33-yard line of Seattle.
Yeah, but you can kind of just sense it in the air. The Seattle team, they've been here before, they have the experience, and they're not going to go quietly. Oh, and off the fingertips of Johnson there for an incomplete pass.
Bridgewater just led him a little bit too far. Maybe got a little excited seeing him open and slanting towards the end zone. Peterson picks up 6 on second down. Third down and 4. I think there's definitely 4-down territory for the rest of the game, Bob.
Oh, absolutely. Yep, and the pitch off to Peterson, and Peterson making people miss. Going in for the touchdown, and the Vikings on the board again.
There we go, making some noise. Now, it might be decision time here, Bob, with the power weapons on offense that Seattle has. Yep. With 3:44 left, down a couple of scores, do you go for the onside kick here?
I go for the onside kick, and I would go one up you there, and I'd go for 2 at that point instead of kicking that. But there we go with the onside kick, and Seattle recovers. That hands team is very, very good.
Looks like Minnesota may have had a chance on it, though. It did bounce off of a Seattle player back towards the Minnesota line. Lucky that Seattle did recover, and Russell Wilson's picking up a first down. And you have to get the feeling, Bob, that they're just going to run this ball right down Minnesota's throat here in the final minutes.
Well, yeah, if they've been running literally the entire game, I would assume that the last few minutes of this game, they're going to stick with that plan there.
Yes.
Very interesting play calling by Pete Carroll and the Seahawks, but very effective.
Vikings having to call their timeouts under 3 minutes to go. It's guess who? Lynch to the right. Is he going to get in for the touchdown? Yes.
That's going to be the nail in the coffin there for the Minnesota Vikings. Lynch with his 3rd touchdown of the game, 3rd run to the right for a touchdown, and we're a point after away from 31-14.
Minnesota just has not been able to move this ball tonight.
No, and they haven't been able to stop Seattle from doing obvious run plays, so this very good Vikings defense throughout the regular season has not shown up here in the playoffs at home, and you can tell that the crowd is just very sad.
It's going to be a deflating loss, and it's going to lead to, as all tough playoff losses do, a lot of questions to answer in the offseason. Peterson has a beautiful run here. He's going to break it out. He's just padding his stats, though, now it seems.
AP never given up.
Yes, AP playing this one until the final whistle. He's going to have a good game numbers-wise, but I think he's going to wish that he could have the one stat that matters, and that's the column of the W.
Yep. Adrian Peterson still looking for his first playoff win, second time in the playoffs here, and the Vikings with their final timeout, 1st and 10 from their own 20.
Back to Peterson, certainly not scared to use him, and can he get that second touchdown? Yes.
Absolutely. So the Vikings bring it a little bit closer, but still this game is all but determined.
They'll have another chance for the onside kick. If we can get a quick onside kick and a quick score, we're going to have to get two onside kicks in a very short period here.
Yep, I think that's why you should have gone for 2 there. If they would have gone for 2 and gotten it, those last 2 touchdowns, we would have at least had a shot here for a tie or go ahead.
That onside kick not executed nearly as well. Sweezy is able to fall on it on the hands team, advance it a little bit. Here's Russell Wilson leaving the starters in here wildcard weekend, not letting up on the gas pedal here, and he picks up a first down with 25 seconds left to go.
Well, he knocked out of bounds there, so the clock will stop, and Lynch to the right. Something we've seen a little bit today, but a fumble out of bounds. And even the turnovers are going the Seahawks way.
Lynch wise enough to get near the sideline so that when these ball-hawking Minnesota defenders get on him, he does get it stripped and lets it go.
Last play of the game, Russell finally throws the football to Javon Curse for a touchdown to make it 37-21, point after coming. That's rubbing salt in a wound, don't you think there, Cory?
Yes, as is kicking this extra point. I believe that this is not necessary to run an extra point on the final play of the game like that if you are ahead. But just like that, Russell Wilson says, hey, let's throw a pass. Let's complete something. So he does end up at 66%, 2 for 3, I believe, on that one. And Javon Curse is able to get the 26-yard touchdown catch. Never really a doubt in this game, Bob, you have to say.
Yeah, Seahawks came out and just punched the Vikings right in the mouth. You got Adrian Peterson with 259 total yards there. And Lynch with 175, but definitely all Seahawks all day long. And they go on to face Carolina now in the divisional matchup here.
That's a very, very interesting matchup and very appealing. That's a matchup that we will have next week here on Sticky Bleachers. So tonight, we've got a big game with the Packers and Washington. I wonder what's going to happen in that game tonight, Bob. Could that be exciting?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The Redskins have been playing very well, and the Packers are very experienced in the playoffs, so we should have a good game here coming up this afternoon.
Well, let's hope for an exciting ending to that one and an exciting slate of games next week, all of which will be covered here on Sticky Bleachers. That's going to do it for now here from Minnesota. I am Cory signing off.
I'm Bob. We'll see you next week.